Greetings everyone, welcome back to my sketchbook. For the past, pile of videos I've been working on dust jacket cover protectors for each of the 7 Harry Potter books. This is the last book in the series. What a difference really between this and this. Size-wise and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to get too far into making something outrageous. This is just sort of a doodle or a sketch or what have you. And but before I do that, let's look at a couple of things again. So here I have the Chocolate Frog cards. I'm going to show you something interesting. Oh, so there's Godric Gryffindor. You can kind of see here he's holding on to this sword, which is kind of neat. Let me put that away for a moment. Okay. Of course, in Lego, this is what the sword looks like, which is kind of cool. For this cover, rather than go with the 3 good friends, which I really do like the concept of having the 3 of them together seen on the cover, I kind of thought about this, and I've kind of rebuilt this out of the collection of Lego. This is not how it's displayed, but here you have Lord Voldemort, you have Harry, and you have Nagini. And I think that's kind of neat. I'm just going to set that up there for a moment on top of those other books. So I have an idea. I'm just going to draw kind of those 3. I'm just going to set aside that cover for the inkwell. And we'll zoom in a little bit, let's say roughly to about there. It's Monday morning. It's not the nicest day, but always a good day when you're able to do some drawing just for fun. So this is the last cover to work on. And again, this is just for doodle's sake. For those of you that don't write in cursive, I encourage you to do it because it's awesome. That was sort of out of the way. I have that sort of messy too, but that's okay. Go back over these letters a little bit. Anyway, nothing too serious. Now, I'm going to sort of sketch in something kind of quick, I think. It's a funny choice that they gave Voldemort ears. Because, you know, snakes don't really have ears, but I guess he's not fully transformed and all that kind of stuff. It would have been interesting, actually, if he had the ability to turn completely into a snake, but maybe that would be a bit of cruelty. I don't know what the end goal for Voldemort would be in his transformation. I don't know. So, in my mind, I picture that he has a great deal of respect for Nagini. Nagini was, at one point, a human. But it would have been kind of interesting if they would have had the opportunity to have conversations, for example. Beyond the parcel tongue speaking, I suppose. Now, let's see. We'll have Harry a little closer. We'll swing his shoulder back a little bit too, and we'll have maybe this one come out a little bit. A little bit of a nose, because, you know, Voldemort doesn't have one. But here, let's have kind of a version of Nagini. Where she and the Dark Lord are very much together on this. Now, if you've seen Fantastic Beasts, let me move this around a little bit. You would probably know that she's been around for quite some time. And would have at one point known Credence and Grindelwald, who was a circus performer as well. But Voldemort does seem to care for her. The cover art that you'd see on that edition, I believe, is Jason Cockcroft again. And as I said, I do think it's great to have the three friends together. Which is awesome. Had an idea, although it's too late now. And it can still happen for other things. It'd be neat to do the sword of Godric Gryffindor here for that T. And then for that A, have the Deathly Hallows, the symbol of the Deathly Hallows. That would have been kind of neat. Let me kind of doodle that in, but not really. This is, let me go over here, I think. Just sort of doodle a little bit of what I think the sword kind of looks like. Even though I have the Lego version there. It's a fairly ornate sword. It would be, I don't know, I think it's a one-handed use thing. So it wouldn't be like a claymore. Like a broadsword like that. I don't know what the origin of such a sword would be, if it would be like a Spanish sword. But it does seem kind of interesting though. But fairly, I don't know, maybe kind of small. Move this up a little bit. Or at least put it on a bit of an angle, because something like that, I think. Then here it would be like Godric Gryffindor. Oh, I don't really have enough room. Something like that. Anyway, folks, I think that's kind of it for the doodle. As I said, it doesn't need to be super complicated. It is really just an idea. All right, well, I have some lumpy, bumpy stuff going on here. Maybe, ooh, dip the pen, please. All right. That's it for now. I will back this out a little bit here. And yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you have a wonderful day, a good start to the week, I hope. And I'll kind of finish this little project up in the day or so just for fun. And that should be it. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. All right. Ciao for now.